So on my channel, I've talked a lot about skincare products, but during the past year, I would say that I've learned it the hard way that the journey to clear and healthy skin is not just all about using good skincare products. So before you go like, yeah, I know diet plays a really important role too, I'm not really a huge believer that diet plays a super important role, because I feel like most of the time this diet rule just makes a lot of people become afraid of certain foods such as dairy, sugar, and gluten. I myself has gone through the phase where I have just completely eliminated dairy and sugar from my diet, and it was such a miserable and tough time, and it was also really unnecessary. Personal hygiene is another thing that I find that a lot of people with acne tend to take it way too seriously, including my past self. It really took me a while to realize that, you know what, there's actually bacteria everywhere, and if my skin is going to react and break out just because I didn't change my pillowcases in like 3 days, it's not my pillowcases that I need to change, it's my skincare routine, because obviously something is weakening my skin. So obviously we're not talking about the extremes here, like people who drinks a carton of milk every single day and eat donuts every day, or like people who don't ever change their pillowcases. So instead of skincare products, diet, and personal hygienes, today what I want to talk about is your mentality. So what I've learned over the past year is that your mentality, your thoughts, are far more important than diet and personal hygienes when it comes to getting clear and healthy skin. So when I was breaking out persistently, so when I had persistent acne, I read a lot of articles on how to treat acne, how to cure cystic acne, how to stop breaking out, and I've also watched a lot of YouTube videos on it, and none of those that I've read or watched actually talked about mentality. You know, it feels like everyone's just recycling content like cleanse your face well, drink lots of water, use benzoperoxide, change your pillowcases. And in addition, I always see a lot of influencers, or at least the ones I'm following, they always like to post things like, oh look, I got a ton of clogged pores, or I got a breakout, it's making me feel really insecure and making me feel like shit, but thankfully I will be going for my facial appointment at this place, or I have this really expensive skincare product that's gonna help speed up the recovery, blah blah blah. And I'm not shading them for marketing products, because that's literally the job of influencers to market sponsored products. But what I'm saying is, whenever we get exposed to content like this, when we scroll through our feed and this is the content that we see, it unknowingly leaves an impression in our brain that tells us that you need to have clear skin in order to be happy, you need to have clear skin in order to solve your insecurity issues about your skin. And sometimes it doesn't even have to be about your skin. Once again, I'm not shading influencers, because this doesn't only happen on social media, it also happens on TV. Like growing up, I've seen so many advertisements of a woman with wrinkly, pimply, and dull skin looking really sad and grumpy, and then she goes for a facial appointment, and after 10 sessions she comes back with clear skin, looking really happy, and even says things like, I'm finally confident, you know, I'm finally happy and stuff. And like I said, it doesn't even have to be about your skin. There are so many dramas and movies that features like a fat girl who is like self-conscious, insecure, and you know, she's always getting bullied, nobody likes her, and then all of a sudden when she loses weight, you know, suddenly everybody likes her and she's confident and stuff. All these content, regardless of whether they're on social media or on television, they all leave the same message, which is you need to have clear skin, or you need to look a certain way in order to be happy, you need to achieve something in order to be happy. But guess what? This message that we grew up listening to is actually completely bullshit. The people who create these content, they just want you to buy the goddamn facial package or whatever skincare products they are promoting, which is why they are tagging on your weak spots, you know, your desire to be happy and your insecurities about your skin. They try and relate to you like, oh yeah, I have pimply skin and it's also making me feel insecure, but then I use this product and it cleared my skin, so now I am happy. So you can be happy too if you use this product. You know, they are just manipulating you to think that you need all these, the clear skin, the fit body, in order to be happy, when in reality you don't. So today I'm going to just sit here and chat with you guys on how you can be happy even with acne or whatever other flaws or shortcomings that you think you might have. Whatever I'm talking today can be applied to anything in your life that you feel like you cannot be happy because of it, but today I'll be focusing on the topic of not being happy because of acne, because that was what I personally went through. So that said, I used to be one of those people who struggled with life because of acne. My insecurities about my skin started about a year ago, but it was not until February this year when it got so bad that I cried over my skin. I didn't want my boyfriend to look at me. I avoided going out. I become very anxious whenever I'm meeting someone that I know is more likely to judge me or comment on my skin. I've stopped filming as much, and just 24/7 I was just constantly thinking about my skin. Everything I did was for my skin. When I go to bed, it's like don't sleep sideways because maybe there's bacteria on the pillowcase, and then working out became less fun because I was just constantly worrying about sweating and also bacteria in the gym. A week before I went to Korea, so in April, my skin was actually at its worst, which is why I didn't film anything to upload when I was away. I was really very depressed and obviously a lot more stressed and anxious because I was going to take my pre-wedding photos in Korea. So when I was in Korea, I actually tried to practice self-love and I failed. Looking back now, it was clear to me that it was because back then I didn't believe that self-love and mental wellness will actually help me, will help my skin, because back then what I believed was the clear skin will help my mental health and not the other way around. In Korea, my skin remained bad, and I'm not sure if you can tell from the vlogs. I could definitely tell when I was editing. I was really unhappy there. I felt judged every single day, and it really didn't help that Korea has a really high beauty standard and that everyone I saw had really flawless skin. I feel like my skin was definitely the main reason why I didn't film anything during the pre-wedding photo shoot, because I was feeling so insecure and self-conscious about my skin. And being someone who is obsessed with taking photos and videos of my life for the sake of keeping memories, the fact that I didn't film anything during my pre-wedding photo shoot just shows how clearly acne is running and like taking over my life. When I came back from Korea, my skin improved a lot because of skincare, and that was when I started filming again, and all of a sudden self-love became so easy and I was confident again even though I didn't have perfect skin. And I even remember telling myself at that time that this is proof that I should stop forcing myself to love myself, because I just can't. You know, I told myself that I cannot love myself when I have pimply skin. I can only love myself when I have better looking skin. But like I said, this mentality about, you know, you need to have clear skin or better looking skin in order to be happy is BS. A few weeks later, I broke out again, you know, woke up, saw a new clutter of spots on my cheeks, and immediately I felt like crap. And for some reasons it felt worse than before. I feel like it's because I thought that my skin was only gonna get better, but then it didn't. So this surge of negativity actually hit me really hard this time around, and it made me realize that it is so easy to love yourself and it is so easy to be happy when everything is going well, when everything is going where you want them to go. And then I realized that the challenge here is actually to love yourself and be happy regardless of what happens, and especially when things are not going your way, because this is life, you know, not everything is gonna go your way all the time. You can't say like you love your boyfriend or your husband only when he's all dressed up, or only when he gets a pay raise, or only when he buys a new car, because this isn't true love, right? If you truly love someone, you would love them regardless of whatever happens. If you truly love your boyfriend and he broke out, you wouldn't say something like, oh my god, gross, I cannot love you right now. Like, I can only love you when you clear up your skin, right? You wouldn't say something like that, right? So I decided to try this whole self-love and self-care thing again, but this time around I've only told myself that, you know what, I can do it. And I feel like this is the most important first step that I needed to take, believing that I can love myself and I can be happy regardless of whatever happens, pimply skin or not. Because if I believe that I can't, then I can't, because that's how it is. If you keep thinking of something, the same thing over and over again, it becomes your reality. I read this book called The Untethered Soul by Michael A. Singer, and I resonate with it so much. It is such a good book. It talked about how we tend to put our minds into autopilot mode, so we let it run by itself, which is completely fine. But the dangerous thing is when we listen to our minds without actually being aware of what it is actually saying. So the book gave a couple of examples, but since we're talking about skincare today, it really reminded me of the times when my mind would just keep on blaming me for my bad skin, and it just kept on making me feel stressed and anxious about the future of my skin. Whenever I get a new spot, my mind would instantly think like, what the hell did I do this time around that created a spot? You know, is my skincare routine not working? Did I not change my pillowcases? Did I eat too much dairy and sugar? And all these thoughts, even though when you look at them right now objectively, you can clearly see that they're all just baseless assumptions, they affected my emotions. And you know, at that point of time, I believed that they were true, which led me to feel really stressed and anxious and useless. So to avoid getting pulled into your negative thoughts or getting manipulated by your thoughts, all you gotta do is to practice awareness. So like I mentioned earlier on, you know, look at your thoughts objectively. So right now, whenever my mind comes up with some negative thoughts, I just become aware of them, and then I look at them objectively, and then I see that these thoughts literally serves no purpose other than making myself feel like shit for nothing. So I'm going to quote what the book says. Your thoughts have far less impact on this world than you like to think. If you're willing to be objective and watch all your thoughts, you'll see that the vast majority of them have no relevance. They have no effect on anything or anybody except you. They're simply making you feel better or worse about what is going on now, what has gone on in the past, or what might go on in the future. If you spend your time hoping that it doesn't rain tomorrow, you're wasting time. A recent example is when I was at the gym a couple of weeks ago. I was actually following a YouTube workout routine when suddenly I received a notification from YouTube saying that I have a new comment on my video. So I instantly panicked because I couldn't see what the comment was, and it looked like a really long comment. So for some reasons my mind was just like, oh my god, did someone leave a really long negative comment? And I started panicking and feeling anxious and uneasy while working out. But then really quickly I became aware of this thought and this negative feeling, you know, and then I remember what the book said. This negative feeling isn't gonna change the comment. Me worrying about it isn't gonna change a negative comment to a positive one. The only thing that this negative thought is going to affect is me and my feelings. So immediately I told myself to let it go. You know, I told myself, you're gonna enjoy your workout, focus on the present moment, and when you're done, you can check on the comment. So that was what I did, and after I finished my workout, I checked the comment, and it was a really supportive one. So you see how this works? If I were to let my negative thoughts manipulate me and convince me that the comment was a negative one, then I would have not enjoyed my workout, and I would have wasted time, you know, working out with an uneasy and anxious heart for nothing because the comment was a positive one. And the same thing goes for your skin and acne. I've seen so many people worrying about breaking out, like, oh my god, I didn't bring my toner, my skin is gonna screw up in like 2 days. And that is you worrying, feeling bad, feeling like shit, feeling stressed over something that might not even happen in the first place. A little sidetrack back to skincare. I feel like especially if you know for sure that your skincare products doesn't contain any clogging ingredients, doesn't contain any harmful shit, then there's really nothing to worry about. The moment I became determined to take on the path of self-care and self-love, I feel like my skin has just been healing non-stop. You know, it gets clearer and clearer every single day. Even the marks are fading away. I've stopped becoming obsessed with my skin because now I know that my skin doesn't define me. I am so much more than just my skin, you know? I've stopped being obsessed with my skin. I've stopped checking on my pores constantly throughout the day. I've stopped taking a billion photos of my skin every day. I am no longer embarrassed of my blemished skin, you know, my acne scars, the actual spots. In fact, I am so proud of my skin right now for healing so wonderfully even without the help of like expensive treatments or facials whatsoever. I do still get a few new spots here and there, but right now my mind is just like, I know it will go away in like a few days. I know there's nothing clogging in my routine. I know my routine is good enough to speed up the healing, and I know my body will heal it on its own. So like all of a sudden I trust myself, and it feels so good as opposed to constantly just blaming myself for my bad skin and, you know, making myself worry non-stop that I'll be stuck with acne forever. There are so many things that you can do to cultivate and practice this habit of self-love and awareness, like having affirmations, meditation. I will share with you what I do in maybe a blog post or another video, because I feel like this video is already really long. But I feel like the main thing is to start prioritizing feeling good. Also, I feel like it is really important to not have unrealistic expectations that you should only have positive thoughts and you should never ever feel bad or sad. It is completely normal to have negative thoughts. It is completely normal to have things that upsets us, because once again, this is life. It isn't gonna be smooth sailing, and we're not gonna like everything that life is gonna throw at us. So when something or someone upsets you, do not try and suppress these negative feelings. You know, do not be like, oh my god, I'm feeling sad, but I should only be happy, so I need to like divert my attention right now. Because if you do that, you're just running away from a really great opportunity to grow. Like I said, it is so easy to be happy when things are going well. The challenge here is when things are not going well. So when life gives you this challenge, you know, it is an opportunity that you should take if you want to grow spiritually. If you're unhappy about something, acknowledge it. Acknowledge that this makes me feel angry, this makes me feel sad, and then practice the ability to let it go, let it pass, so it doesn't kill your vibe. And in order to do that, you have to first face it, and I feel like this is where people tend to struggle. For example, when someone comments negatively on your skin, instead of asking yourself, why are you so bothered about his comment, you know, I feel like most people will start blaming the person who gave the comment, you know, so you start thinking that it is his fault and his problem, you know, he was the one who gave the comment, he was the asshole who couldn't mind his own business. And that is how people don't grow spiritually, because in the future, when someone else comments negatively on your skin again, you're gonna accumulate even more negativity, because you're gonna think like, oh my god, another asshole who couldn't mind his own business, who loves picking on other people's flaws, when in reality you are the one who have the insecurity in the first place. I know this is gonna be a pretty difficult pill to swallow, but it's never about the other person. So in conclusion, happiness is always available to you. This is one of my current favorite affirmations, and it was also what inspired me to make this video. Happiness is always available to you at all times, even right now. You don't have to wait until you get clear skin. You don't have to wait until you get abs. You don't have to wait until you have 1 million subscribers, your dream job, your dream house, your dream man, your dream woman. You can be happy right now. Positive thoughts are always there for you. You just gotta reach out to them. So I know this video is slightly different, you know, no reviews, no skincare products, but I just find this topic so important and life-changing. Not only skin-changing, but life-changing. And I know this might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I know so many people mentally struggling with acne or whatever other insecurities that they have, and the solution is actually so simple, but many of us, we don't see it because we're so caught up comparing ourselves with people we see on the internet, especially now that we have Instagram, and there's even the term Instagram worthy, right? I mean, like, take a look at my Instagram. You wouldn't have known that I had pimply skin because I remove all the spots to make it Instagram worthy. So as usual, leave me a comment if you can resonate or relate with whatever I've said. If you find this video helpful, you know, anything positive, I would love to read what you have to say. So if this lengthy video is still not enough for you and you want to read more about the relationship between our mental health and our skin, I've actually uploaded a blog post where I've talked more about our body's fight or flight response, and how it affects our body and our skin, and also some other things that I didn't mention here. So if you're interested to read that, the link will be in the description box. And if that is still not enough for you, I highly recommend you to check out The Untethered Soul by Michael A. Singer. So to end this video, I am going to quote 2 more quotes from the book, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye!
Yeah.